Hi, this is Mr. Patch. We're going to look at a 4th of July sparkler today, and we're going to look and see what happens to the matter that's released from that sparkler. So, here's the sparkler. Take me a moment to get this thing lit. And here I go. So, when you look at this sparkler, of course you can see the sparks coming off it in all directions. It glows. It looks like things come off it and disappear from the world. But is that really the way that matter works? Does it really just disappear? Something else is probably happening. That's what science would explain. And we're going to take a look at that. So instead of thinking of all those sparks disappearing from the world, think of them as not being visible to us. We're going to see if we can catch some of those sparklers and measure them and see what they are. That's kind of our plan here. So now we're going to do kind of the same thing, except what we're going to do is we're going to try to catch the sparks here. So when I catch the sparks over here, I'm going to catch them on this folder here. All right, so we're going to see if I catch these, if they have anything that we can measure. I'm going to start off by measuring the mass of the sparkler itself. I've turned on the electronic balance. I always zero it out first. And the mass of this sparkler is 2.70 grams. So I'm lighting the sparkler, and what I'm trying to do is make sure some of the sparks land on this sheet of paper here. This is kind of a thick paper, so it doesn't burn easily. And this folder paper is, in a way, it's sort of a net. It's like a net, and I'm trying to catch any little pieces that come off the sparkler. That's what I want to do. So the sparkler is done. It'll take a couple minutes for it to cool down. And while I'm waiting for it to cool down here, before I put it on the balance, I'm going to take this and see if I can collect whatever's came off the sparkler. I'm going to tap, tap, tap it. And you might be able to see that there's a line of particles down here on the paper that came off that sparkler. I'm taking the sparkler that's now cooled down. I always zero out my balance before I start. Set it on the balance. Remember before it was about 2.70. Now I'm getting 2.24. It's lost mass. So when it burned, even though we didn't see things come off it, it lost some of the matter that it had. We're going to take a look at some of these particles here. It may be difficult for you to see on the video. I have a magnet here. And I'm going to move this magnet underneath the paper and see how these particles respond. So you might be able to see right here that the particles that came off of the sparkler are attracted to the magnet. That must mean that they're iron or steel. So I've got an idea about the composition now. I placed what we collected under a microscope, and we're going to zoom in on what I found. Look carefully, and you can see that they're round beads of iron.